Good afternoon and welcome to Table Talk on the Inside Scoop at 185 North Main Street in Barre. How are you all doing on this bright, beautiful, sunny day? I know I was super happy to see it. How about you?
Oh God, yeah.
We
After all
need
that
it.
rain.
We deserve it. We need it. It was
Yeah.
good to see. And a couple of days of this.
Yes.
Tomorrow,
Yep.
I think we're going to have a day like we had on election day.
Then we're gonna have some rain again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thursday, Friday, into Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Sunday's not going to be too bad though.
No, no.
So it would be nice to have one solid weekend
Wouldn't it?
of sunshine and nice.
Yeah. I know there's a lot of Little League games being made up, in these few days when it's sunny because they've had so many rainouts. Now they're playing like almost every night to get caught up.
Well, and let's face it, now Mother Nature is cutting into your camp time.
That's right.
That-
I don't like that.
is not okay.
Ooh.
How are the black flies up there?
They were out yesterday.
They were?
Yeah, yeah. Let's see, 2 weekends ago, my son and I went up and did some work outside, and they were nasty. I went up last Wednesday and mowed and weed whacked, but I had sprayed myself down good with bug spray, so they weren't too bad. But then we did a little thing Sunday, and yeah, they got a little nasty.
Do you have one of those nets?
No.
So that you can mow and stuff like that?
I'm not a wimp.
You're not a wimp?
No.
I'm a wimp. I hate those things.
I-
I don't have one of the nets, but I just hide.
Yeah.
I just don't go outside.
Yeah.
Still not as bad as flying ants. Flying ants gross me out.
Oh, the flying ant night. Yeah. I always like that.
You do.
Yeah, it's cool.
They just get you. They don't even care. So gross. Tomorrow night, kickoff of the farmers market, concert in the
Yes,
park.
that's right.
The food trucks. Donna Thunder is there
Yep.
tomorrow night. She's going to kick everything off. And farmers market starts at 3:30, and that goes to 6:30. And then the food trucks will arrive at 4, and they will stay set up until 7. And Donna Thunder starts playing at 5:30.
Nice.
And she'll be there until 7 as well. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, nothing says summer like kicking
No.
all of that off, right?
It's going to be interesting to see because this is going to be the first time that she's had everything at the same place on the same night.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting.
I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be great having it all there one
Oh,
night.
yeah.
And I actually think the vendors will get many more people around
Yeah, yeah.
having it there. Certainly much easier to park and walk around and
Mm-hmm.
be there with your children if you need to go home from work first and then back down. It's a much easier thing to do there at Courier Park.
And what's nice is it's in a neighborhood area. It's not in the middle of the main streets. And
Right. Yeah, I think it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it, and let's just hope that Donna Thunder doesn't bring the thunder. She leaves that away. Sunshine only, Donna.
so it'll just be Donna.
That's right. It'll
Yeah.
just be Donna
Yeah.
and friends. She's bringing
Donna
some
and friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love to listen to her. She does a great show. They all do. They play at the VFW for Wing-a-Ding.
Yeah.
Wednesdays. I am, at the Den. She does all kinds of different venues throughout the summer, and super excited about going tomorrow night. We'll
Yeah.
be there. I'll be there. And then we'll be there again on the 25th because the team, 802 Scoop team, has sponsored Seth and Sophie. So the Seth and Sophie concert is sponsored by 802 Scoop, and we're super excited about that. They play at the Den. I don't know if you've ever heard them, but
No.
they're great. They play at the Den a lot for the dinner time acoustic sets they do there. So we will be there on the 25th, and we will have some giveaways, not
You
getaways.
can get away, too.
Although you can get away and come down.
You can
and
grab
so
a
that-
giveaway and get away.
That's right. And some of those giveaways will include ice cream from one of our sponsors, Legendary Maple and Ice Cream in Williamstown. Also, some giveaways that are 802 Scoop swag, and then some stuff from a couple of other sponsors that I'm not going to let out of the bag just quite yet, but we'll definitely have some coupons and stuff to
Yeah.
give away for some ice cream. So we hope to see you all down there on the 25th. And every Wednesday. Really, it's a great event for the entire family.
It is. From what I've heard, the food trucks do pretty well down there.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
I wonder if Moe's Backyard Barbecue
Well,
is going to be there
I
this
think
year.
he's been there in past years. So.
Yes, he has.
Yeah.
I know that he's one of Michael's favorites. So speaking of Michael, I said to him, have you ridden your tricycle yet? And it turns out that he has a little bit, but not, he wants to get some more time in. So he's thinking about maybe riding it down to the park tomorrow night.
Really?
Yes. He said probably everybody's going to pick on me. So are you going to be at the park tomorrow night?
All right, Wednesday night. Wednesday night?
Oh,
wait, today's Tuesday.
Yeah, today's Tuesday.
Wow.
It's city council
I lost
tonight.
a day. Oh, geez, yeah, that's right. I got a meeting tonight.
Yes, you do.
So he's going to ride his tricycle down
Yeah.
now.
And
I might have to
I
go
can
to
only
that.
think of maybe one person that would pick on him, and that would be you.
Me?
Yeah. Well, and maybe me. I might give him a hard time. I think I'm going to make him give me a ride in his basket.
I got to see that. I just got to see
And
that.
I keep forgetting to ask him what color it is.
Probably green.
What color his tricycle
Isn't it green,
is.
his color?
It probably is.
Like his
It's
Jeep?
probably green. I'm pretty sure that Barb said she heard him say that it was green. But yeah, Glenn just wants to see how it works because maybe he'll get one. Glenn Brummer. I could see you riding one of those, Glenn. I think you and Michael, except get the one that has a little bit more nut because
Yeah.
Michael's is like a pansy tricycle. It only goes 15 miles per hour. Glenn, I think that you could upgrade and totally get the one that at least goes 30, 35. They have them that go a little faster too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know that they come in a tricycle, the ones that go a little bit faster.
Oh, God.
Though they should. A little safer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if you have to have like all the gear for those. If you have to have helmet and
You have
all
to,
of that
I think,
kind
yeah,
of
I'm
stuff.
sure you have to have a helmet.
I would assume.
Yeah.
I think Michael told me he didn't want to wear a helmet, but I think that he should. I think you should have to.
I thought he used to wear the helmet when he was on the short bus, but
Could be. Could be. You never know. Glenn wants to go, wants one that he can go Mach 1. Those are not called tricycles, Glenn. Those are called crotch rockets.
yes.
Yes. At least that's what we called them back in my day. So, city council meeting tonight.
Yep, city council meeting tonight.
Looked like a pretty packed
Yeah,
agenda, too.
it looks like it'll be a late
I
night.
think it's going to be a late night.
Yeah.
I'm going to go down for a little bit. I definitely will not stay for the whole thing, but I will come down, join you guys, give my support as much as I possibly can to all my peeps, and legislative update tonight.
Yep,
So Michael will be there giving that legislative update, and
probably Teddy.
yeah, and Teddy too. And as you were saying just before we went on, they're in break right now, recess,
Yes.
but they will be going back on the 16th.
That's what I thought I read the other day, June 16th.
Yeah, so they have some more work to do.
Yeah.
And I think most of that surrounds the
It's
education.
education.
Stuff. Yeah. Phil
Governor,
Scott is
governor
really saying.
said, he said it's progress, but it's not as much progress as I'm looking
Yeah,
for.
it's not where he needs to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I didn't see anything on this agenda about which everybody has been asking about the ordinance. And I believe the ordinance conversation is going to be in 2 weeks.
Yes, it's going to be,
the
yes.
council meeting next.
Yeah.
The next time in 2 weeks. Because you do meet just every other week unless there's some sort of an emergency.
Right.
And then you'll meet. But
So the good news is the deal for the Mr. Lozon's warehouse building up on Morrison Road. They had the closing yesterday. The city is now the owner of the building up on Morrison Road in Barre Town, where our Public Works Department will be moving into.
Which is amazing. And they're saying about this time next year.
Yep.
Because
Yep.
they do have some modifications.
Yes, they got modifications to do. We're still waiting on some permits too, so, but
Now, will
that's
they move
great.
any portion of that up there?
Well, I'm not sure.
prior to,
Because
or-
right now, O'Reilly's is still renting, but now they're renting from the city and not Mr. Lozon. And that will be done, I think, in November, November, December. And then they may go in and start doing some modifications, but the big thing is overhead doors, I think a ramp, and then an outdoor salt shed area.
Glenn says he hoped they got it cheap. Cheap compared to what the city was first looking at as far as how much it was going to cost to build such a building.
To build a building,
It was tens of millions of
it
dollars.
was $30 million.
And now we're down around, including the cost of the building, 6
Five,
million.
yep.
So that's a huge, pretty huge deal that got done, for sure.
I think it was East Montpelier that's building a new one that is smaller than that, and they're paying over $3 million. So I think we got a very good deal.
Yeah, I do too. And it's a great location.
Yeah.
It's certainly central to everything that is needed, and
It's out of the flood zone.
out of the flood zone. That's right. And so that way people can be sure that the equipment isn't underwater when we desperately need it.
Right.
And the people that work there can have a facility where the roof isn't leaking, and they
Well-
can actually have a break room and a place to go to the bathroom, and
Right.
all of the things that most people would expect from any place they
Right.
work. And these guys have been working hard in dealing with some pretty shitty situations and environment for a long while.
If
but
people
doing
have
it
never
anyway.
seen that building and don't know what those guys are working in, take a ride down Burnham Street and just take a peek at it as you're driving by.
Yeah.
There's holes in the walls. I mean, they go through fuel oil. I think they fill a tank, once a week.
And that's just the thing, is that also the savings in
Heating.
in that heat and in everything else
Yeah.
that they do is going to be huge. And then they can also store things inside, so they're not out in the elements.
All the vehicles will fit inside that building. Currently, they get the vehicles in, but in the winter they have to take the plows off the vehicles to get them inside. So they have to, when they go out, they have to come in, put the plow back on. So this is going to be so much nicer for them.
Yeah, time saving and money saving, again, because the equipment isn't sitting out in the elements getting worn
Yeah.
even more than what it is during use. So,
More storage space, office space, because I think the city engineer and his staff will all be moving up to that building too from City Hall. So.
which would make sense,
Yeah.
that they're all together
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, it's pretty exciting if you ask me. So what else is on the agenda? Do you know? I peeked at it really quick, but not.
There's something about the cemetery committee looking to make an adjustment to the rules and regulations. I don't know how that's going to go. It's something that I know about because I was in charge of the cemeteries when I was a facilities director, and it's looking to. Right now, the rules and regulations state you can have one monument per lot. Someone's looking to put a second monument on their lot.
Oh,
And personally, I don't agree with it. Because what's going to happen now is people are going to come in, well, if this person got one, I want one. And so they're going to have to go to someone. I don't know if it's going to be the cemetery committee or the city council, or somebody's got to approve these. And I think they're going to create a bigger problem than they have now. I mean, every cemetery that I've looked at, it's one monument per lot. And then you're gonna have this issue of, okay, so if they approve it for this one person, who's gonna be doing these improvements, and what kind of reaction are they gonna get? Why, how come this guy got it and now I can't?
Right, and then how congested does it make
Right,
the
and-
cemetery? I mean, already,
Exactly.
you're already looking for space often, and when it tightens, it just doesn't look
Right.
as pretty. It doesn't look as structured.
And you're gonna be
nice.
cutting out some of your revenue too, because, people buy a lot, and, now if you don't have to buy a lot, you're just gonna stick a monument on somebody else's lot. I think they're going down a road they shouldn't be going down.
So I know recently there's somebody that I know that their family member is in a cemetery, not Hope, but a cemetery in local, and the stone it's a double plot stone, or it's a lot where it could have, I think it's 2 cremations, maybe
Yeah.
maybe even more, I'm not sure. And what they did was the front side of the stone is all about one person.
Yeah.
And then they had the back side of the stone all about the other.
and
so
that's
just
perfectly-
depending on which side of the stone
Yeah.
you're on.
Yeah.
And there are lots in the Hope Cemetery that you could certainly do that with,
Mm-hmm.
where you can either be on either side of it. My mom's lot, that wouldn't work because she's right up against the hedge where she wanted
So
to be.
there's already a space for this person to be buried in that lot. And they have a big monument on it. But he wants to add another monument right where he's gonna be buried.
Yep.
And then once you start doing that, I don't know, when they did the rules and regulations, and it took a couple years to even do those, they wanted everything to have some uniformity. So, you go down to the veteran cemetery and they don't have anything like that. Everything is in order.
Right. And they, Hope is also very specific about what granite you use
Yeah.
as well, correct?
Yes, very gray.
Very gray.
Yeah.
And that's it. You won't see any of the other.
There's some from years ago over in the older section, but now it's just berry gray.
I know some, Glenn says 1 per customer. That's right, Glenn. That's it.
Glenn knows. Glenn has a stone up there.
Some of the cemeteries, they have all different kinds of granite mixed in, and then all different types of stones, and there is a big difference when you see that. It's not as they are beautiful, yes, but it's not the same
Yeah.
as when you go into Hope. Yeah. Any updates on, is the water all working now? All of that
I heard
stuff?
yesterday the water is on now.
Good.
Yep.
And I assume they know about the grub problem, and they're probably working on that as they have in years past.
I don't know what they're doing, if they're doing it, but it's probably going to involve having someone like True Green come in again, and probably should have continued the process before, but they didn't, and now it's, they can't blame it on dry season like we, in the past when it's
Oh,
been dry. I
definitely
mean,
not.
we've had, and I think that's what's kept the flowers blooming up there, was all the rain we had.
For sure. But it's definitely something that needs to be quickly dealt with.
Yeah.
We've seen in
It'll
years
spread.
past where it spread, and it spread
Yeah.
quickly and literally took over
Yeah.
almost the entire cemetery. And unfortunately, the last time it also happened while they were doing that construction right
Yes.
there on Route 14.
Yeah.
And between the two, I mean,
It was a
wow,
double
it
whammy.
was just, it was a double whammy. It was
Yeah.
pretty bad. So hopefully that can get turned around quickly. And Glenn says thanks for noticing that he has the stone there. I mean, that's what you did. That was your thing.
That was my thing. Yeah.
That's right.
That was part of my thing.
So
So what else? Oh, I believe they're getting the pool ready. They're working on the pool today.
yes, I heard that.
Yeah, so they'll be filling it. If not today, probably start filling tomorrow. But I know the guys are up there. They've been cleaning and getting the pool ready to fill. So
And I'm assuming the bathroom's open and all of
Those-
that,
there
all
should
of that
be-
stuff needs to get done.
yeah, I think they found a couple of pipes that sprung a leak over the winter. So they fixing those, getting the restrooms ready to open up, and
Nice. And I saw there are some volunteer appointments for different committees
Yeah,
tonight
there
as
is.
well.
Yeah.
And
I think they're all reappointments.
are they all
I think they're all
reappointments
reappointments. I know it's the Building and Facilities Committee, which used to be called the Civic Center Committee, and the Cemetery Committee.
And are you still on that? You're still on the cemetery
No.
committee? No?
No.
You just go as like right now as the,
I don't even, well, I've been asked, I was asked to one or two. And that was about the CAUSE money. They just wanted me,
well, I mean,
because I was there when everything happened, when Mr. Cozy told me what he wanted, and
it was important to hear from the old dog,
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Because sometimes
You call me
can,
old?
Well, no, that's, you bring in the old dog if you want to learn about all of this stuff, the history of it all. And you certainly could teach them all
Yeah.
a few things
Yeah,
or
and
two, I'm sure.
I've told like Tom Baker, if he ever has questions, just give
How
me a
long
holler.
did you do that?
So it was just quite 17 years. Well, if you take my administrative leave time that I was there, so I was there, employed there for 17 years. And I think it was in the first few years when I started there that they decided to merge recreation facilities and cemeteries into one. So that was probably around 2013. Yeah.
Yeah. So quite a while,
Yeah.
for sure. So
Yep.
you definitely know the ins and outs and what's where, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I know when we were dealing with getting my mom's site and
Well,
things.
I did. I worked
Yeah,
with
you
your
met with my
parents. I met your
parents.
parents and sold them a lot.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I still have not done that. I need to do that. I want to, but I will be in the town with my brother. I need to
Yeah.
get in touch with Wilson and
Yeah.
Wilson Cemetery. I forget the guy's name all the time, and get that all dealt with.
Yeah.
I don't drag my feet. I literally just forget. I call. I don't get him on the phone. Maybe I leave a message. Maybe I don't, because sometimes I'm just like, oh, I already have left him a few, so I don't want to call again. But I need to get on the stick and make sure
Yeah.
that gets done. Because pretty soon there won't be one near my brother. I want it right near my
Right.
brother. Right behind him would be nice.
That's all right. All the years I've worked up there, I haven't got one yet.
You haven't?
No, I gotta get that taken care of.
Yeah. All those things that we know we need to do, the will, the plot, the advance directives and power of attorneys and all of that stuff. And we all know that, we need to do that stuff, but who wants to do it? It's kind of to even think about.
Yeah.
But it's better than leaving your family to think about it all.
Exactly.
Because then that's
Yeah.
just super tough for sure.
Well, there go the sirens again.
There they go again. Shocking. And we
All
never
day.
hear those around
All day,
here.
every day. It's
Yeah,
like-
we never hear them around here. But speaking of committees and commissions and stuff and appointments, there are still, places for people to volunteer.
I believe so,
And
yeah.
If you want, you should really, if you want to get involved, really check out the list on the city website of who needs what and
Yeah.
what committees still have availability for volunteers. And it's just a great way to get involved, for sure.
Yeah.
And know what's going on. And if you don't want to do that, you can also get involved by just attending the city council meetings.
Right.
You can do it in person or via Zoom. Super easy. And if you don't want to do either one of those, at least, go on the city website when you know a meeting has taken place and check out the minutes.
Yeah.
Read the minutes, read through them. Or pay attention to 802 Scoop, because we always post the link to the recorded meeting the following day as soon as it becomes available. And then you can watch at your convenience and know what's going on so that you can ask the right questions or bring something forth to
Yeah.
the city council.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know they like it, so the council appoints the people that go on the committees, and they always suggest that, you know, go to a meeting. Anybody can go to a meeting.
Any meeting.
You can attend it with Zoom, or you can go in person, and you can go to any committee meeting you want and just sit in as an observer. Because they like that. If you go to that first and, you know, find out if it's something you like, if you really want to be involved. Like, you know, I don't know where they are right now with the recreation committee. I know, is it Linda Kuchar?
Yes.
I think she's on it still.
She had stepped down for a little bit. I don't know if she
Yeah.
got back on or not.
And see, that used to be a pretty good committee. They had quite a few people on it, and then it kind of tailed off.
And it almost dissolved
Yeah.
entirely, didn't it?
Yeah.
And so, but like you said, just sign on, listen to a few, know what's going on, know
Yeah.
if it's something that you want to get involved in, and how you can help, how you can better serve. And maybe you watch it a few times and say, no, that's not really for
Right.
me, and you decide on a different committee. Or maybe you don't want to be on any committee at all, you just want to know what's happening, and so that maybe as a community member, you can say, hey, what about this, or what about that? And
Yeah.
you can ask the questions, because these people are making decisions for the entire community.
There's been people that have been on committees that have then decided they want to run for city council. That's how I got my start 30 years ago. Before I was on the council, I did, I think it was 2 years on the planning and zoning committee. And I kind of liked that. And then I was on the council for 4 years, 2 terms. And then I don't know. Then I came back. I was resurrected.
You were
Came back for
resurrected.
another one. Yeah.
You did. And what are you thinking? Are you going to hang out for a while? You think you're going to
Oh yeah, I'll
to
do these
two,
I'll do
three
these
terms?
these 2 years and then
Yeah.
see. Yeah, I'll
And
probably.
then see. Maybe you'll run for a state rep seat. Maybe you'll want to be down in Montpelier with Michael or something.
Nah, I don't think so. No.
That doesn't sound like a great idea.
No.
I mean, you get the whole summer off that way.
I had the summer off anyway.
Yeah, except for every other Tuesday.
Well.
That's true. I mean, you really do. Now that you're retired,
Right. So.
what else we got going on?
Let's see what else. Like I said, I know all the baseball. The high school playoffs are starting. The spring sports playoffs start this week or next week.
It's
so.
hard to believe that we're already saying playoffs,
I know.
and because they're literally already talking about practices and stuff for fall sports.
Yeah, but spring is the shortest season for sports in high school anyway, because you get done basketball. The basketball tournaments end the first week of March, and then it's like the kids can't really get out on the fields
No, it all happens
until
super quick.
almost May, for Christ's sakes. But you know, spring is the shortest sports season in high school. And then I know, let's see, this week, Thursday night, I think, is the Spalding Alumni Association banquet for the graduating seniors. I'm going to that with Mr. John Riley.
Nice.
We're representing the class of 74. We have 2 $1,500 scholarships to give away.
And that'll be a good night.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you've already chosen the person a
Actually,
while ago?
the school does it. The school has they have a group that handles scholarships. So, you know, people like our class, or if like the Moutois, the Canadian Club, they present the money that they have set aside for it. But the school actually selects the students for those.
The ones that win. Well, we'll have to pay close attention to those.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll have to interview those students.
That might be a
so
nice
they
thing.
can tell us what they're
Yeah.
doing for the future.
Yeah.
That would be
Because
great.
they don't graduate till I think the 21st. So
Right.
there's a couple of weeks before they graduate, we could find out, it could,
I love to do that. I love to bring students in so they can
Yeah.
talk about, their sports or their academics or what they're going to be doing
Yeah.
after life here at Spalding High School and in Vermont, like and in Barre. Do they plan to stick around? What are their plans? And right now, especially, it's interesting to me to hear what some kids think because a lot of them really think about what's happening and taxes and what it's going to cost them to live here and be here and and career choice. What do we have to offer here compared to other states? And sometimes it feels like we're having less and less to offer because so many things are not as lively as they once were.
and I'd like to see that expansion of the career center. I'd love to see that
Me
move
too.
forward.
Yeah.
Because they turned away 200 plus kids last year that wanted to get into that career center.
Yeah. And it's at a standstill right now. I
Yeah.
mean, it basically was shot down. We know that the one of the programs was was nixed altogether. The one that was the granite one that was
Yeah.
happening down at the
Yes.
museum. Michael had done that interview with Giuliano that
Yeah.
time, and it's just sad to see. And it's such a we need the trades.
Right.
We need them more
Yeah.
than we need a lot of other things that kids are going to college for these days. That's for sure.
That program has grown so much. I mean, I don't know what year they started at the high school building, because that building opened in '65, the high school, but I can't remember if they started then or later on, but then they took that whole wing and they've outgrown it.
Yeah, yeah. In the transition that they've seen in that world too, in that industry, I mean the computers and the tech work that is involved in a stone now is insane
Yeah.
compared to all of the do it by hand stuff.
And the sculptors are few and far between right now, and that's what Giuliano was teaching down there, was sculpting. And he learned from his dad. That's the way they came through. And
Right, that's how things happen.
and his dad's got to be pushing 80 now, I would think.
And sometimes I think that, these things happen in things like the Career Center, things like this kind of wither away and pass by us because people aren't paying attention.
Yeah.
If they knew what was going on, there would have been a lot more people out voting and not just saying,
Yeah.
my vote doesn't count anyway. It does count.
does.
When people are winning or losing by 2-3 votes, where things are getting shot down by 2-3 votes, that says a lot. That means that literally every single vote counts.
Yeah.
And it's super important that you get out there and vote no matter how you do it. It's the same thing. It's as easy as attending a meeting. There are so many ways that you can vote. There's no reason not to.
Yeah.
800 votes with a population of over 6,000 is, that's just gross.
Yeah.
That's bad.
And it's, all the trades, all the trades are looking for good young people. I know a young man that, I guess he attends the Randolph Career Center, and he's doing the carpentry program. And his mom was telling me how he went and helped on the Habitat for Humanity. He went on one of them projects, and they saw how good he was, and they're giving him a job. As soon as he finishes, he's got a job.
He has a job as soon as school is done.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's as easy as that.
And it's like that for right now for plumbers, HVAC people, electricians.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Yeah.
I needed an electrician, and it wasn't that I can't find one. I found one. He's willing to come. It's just he's super busy.
Yeah.
And so there's no such thing right now as an emergency because it can't be accommodated.
Yeah.
And unless it's literal, something's on fire or will be caught on fire, nothing is an emergency
Yeah.
right now. It's just not, because there's such a great need and so little people in the industry.
Yeah.
for
Well,
sure.
even the commercial electricians, Norway, Benoit, they're always looking for people.
Yeah, yeah, good stuff to get into. Let's talk about things to do this week. We spoke of this before we went live too. Thursday night is June 5th, the first race for
Thunder
Thursday
Road.
night racing
Wow.
at Thunder Road. It doesn't seem possible that we're
No,
already
I
here,
know.
but we are. And so get out there, enjoy. Let's see, the gate times, I have to make this extremely large for me to be able to see. But the pit gates open at 3. The front gate opens at 4. If you have a season's pass.
Yeah.
And then, but the actual front gate opens at 4:15. Practice begins at 4:15, and the race begins at 7. Adults are $20. Kids age 12 through 6 are $5. 5 and under are free. A family of 4, which is 2 adults, and 2 kids ages 12 through 6 is $40. So get out there.
And of course, what do you think it's calling for on Thursday?
Well, I know, rain.
Yeah.
But not, is it going to be a soaker?
I don't think so.
I think maybe they'll get it in. I hope that they
Actually, it
do.
looks like it's not, well, of course it is. It's like right around 6 o'clock in the evening when it starts. So,
Of course. They did already open up, or to already have one makeup race because of all this,
Yeah.
all this rain. And I think they just did that on
They
Sunday.
did it Sunday,
Yep,
yeah.
Sunday. So they were able to get that through. But yeah, it just, man, it's. I wish they could just get a full season of not having. I think last year they ended up with races that they never made up. I think there were just races in the end, and I think the final race was even cut short. I
Yeah.
don't believe that they were able to get the entire thing in because it was just nonstop rain, and it feels like we're going into the same damn thing.
well, it says Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. All rain.
And then tonight's Barre City Elementary School PTO meeting that has been canceled and has been moved to next Tuesday, the 10th, instead. So just to let people know that that meeting has been canceled, and they apologize for the short notice. We have Writers for Recovery today over at Turning Point Center. And that starts at 2 p.m. and goes to 3:30. And Turning Point is located right over on Air Street, 17 Air Street. And it's a 10-week workshop with Gary Miller. Super cool workshop if you are someone that's in recovery and you like to write, or maybe you just want to explore writing. Go check it out at Turning Point Center. Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, traffic alert.
Yes.
Berlin Street. One-way, it'll be one-way traffic periodically. I think it's between Dagmont and Prospect Street. As they're preparing for paving there this, I don't know when they'll start it, but that's on the summer list here.
Right.
So it looked like what they're doing, what I read was they're clearing out some overgrown trees and stuff at the top of Berlin Street. I think they're going to extend the sidewalk, which ends right around Dagmont. They're going to extend it, I believe, to the top of Berlin at the intersection with Prospect.
Yep.
So you got Berlin Street, then they'll be tackling Allen Street, Prospect Street. So people up on that top of the hill, just watch for traffic and obey the flaggers. And
Pay attention.
pay attention.
And slow down. Because we know that is one of the intersections that also gets talked about a lot. Where
Yeah.
we, we've there. I know that there was some people that came forward wanted that to be a four-way stop
Yeah.
at the top right there. They were concerned about accidents and the flow of traffic and the speed in which people come down Prospect from kind of like the South Barre end
Yeah.
of things. I think it's South Barre. That's what it's considered, but
Yeah.
the upper half.
Yeah.
Come screaming through there sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
And forget that it's 25
And they love sitting.
pretty much the whole way
Yeah.
through.
In Barrytown or Barre City, police are usually parked by that power plant up there.
Hey,
Because
it's a
it
good
switches.
place to tuck into.
Yeah, yeah. And it switches, if you're coming from Barrytown into Barre City, it's just past the Bond baseball field there. That's where the sign is, and it says 25 miles per hour, city, and they're in the city limits.
Linda Kuchar said the house right on the corner of Berlin and Prospect needs to cut their shrub back. I totally agree with that. It's super hard to see out and around that. If they would cut that back or take it down altogether, because that is dangerous. It's hard to see around.
Yeah, they let that shrub grow right into that fence, and it sticks right out into the right-of-way. A few years ago, I sent my crew up there a couple of times and just weed whacked right along that right-of-way and cut it right off his fence, and told the guy it's in the right-of-way. But once you get so coming up Berlin on the left-hand side, that's city property there, and
Right.
they're pulling a bunch of stuff out of there now, so they'll be easier to maintain. I remember years ago there used to be, I'm pretty sure there was a flashing light up there that was strung from one pole to another. It was hanging there. I think it flashed yellow if you're on Prospect Street, and it flashed red if you were on Berlin or Westwood Parkway. I don't know why they ended up taking it down. They took it down and then just put the stop signs at Berlin and Westwood.
Well, I have, like I said, I've listened to the meetings where a resident right up there has, she's pretty much begged them to do
Yeah.
something, and I know that they have talked about it, and they certainly, I think, have agreed that they will look into things maybe a little bit further, but kind of nix the whole four-way stop thing, because there was a traffic study done, I guess, and
Yeah.
some engineer somewhere said it wasn't necessary.
You'll get differing opinions all the time.
Right, it
you know.
depends on who you're talking to.
Right.
Linda says there was a flashing light there
Yeah.
the whole time she was growing up.
Yep.
So, Linda, are you still on the recreation committee? I don't know if you were tuned in when we were talking about that before. She says they will need a light there if they put in that big new housing development that the city is talking about.
Yeah.
And probably they will,
Probably.
for sure, need a light there, because I can't even imagine. And she is not on the committee anymore.
Yeah, I thought she had gotten done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it's kind of, that committee is building back up, or trying to build back up, and so that, well, there actually can be a recreation committee here in the city.
In fact, there was something on the city website under jobs that they're looking for. It didn't say a recreation director. I don't know if it said coordinator, but they are looking for, I think they are now looking for someone to start doing programs. And
We need it. I mean,
Yeah.
that's kind of a loss, and to have someone in the city coordinating with whoever it is in the town would be a great idea.
I mean, we're lucky here that we have Barre Youth Sports Association, because they handle all the big sports, and Barre Community Baseball, Softball. Between them, they handle all the registrations and all that stuff. But there's other things that you could have that aren't run through BYSA or Barre Community Baseball, Softball. When I grew up here, there was one lady that ran the whole recreation department. Her name was Laura Hanson, and there was no BYSA back then. There was Barre City Little League, so they took care of baseball. But if you were playing flag football or you were playing hockey or basketball, everything went through that lady. She
Oh
had
my
an
gosh.
office up in the auditorium where the facilities guys are now. You went up there to get signed up. In an alumni hall where the garage is, that's where they kept all the equipment for these things. And they had other things like they hired kids out of either seniors in high school or college freshmen, and they worked at each of the playgrounds. And like I lived in the North End, so I went to Vine Street Playground.
Yeah.
They had activities all the time.
Yeah.
At the end of the summer, you had like a bicycle parade down Main Street, and things like that.
Back in
that
the
aren't-
day,
Yeah,
things we old dogs know about.
that's right.
And we could teach
Woof,
them.
woof, yeah.
Exactly. But those things are the things that make a
Right.
community.
I mean-
Those things are the things that make our kids feel safe and secure and included.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And, they don't need to be involved in politics and
Right.
the everyday bullshit. They need to be involved in those sorts of things.
Right.
And we need to know that there are places that our kids can go that are safe and, that they're supported by the city
Yeah.
and in a department that cares about getting this stuff together for them.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. And we were fortunate enough to have those
You're right.
things.
There's kids that don't want to play sports or aren't interested in sports, and there's other. So you got to have other things for kids like that.
Yeah, for sure. Linda says people have been asking, when is the pool going to open? What is the cost going to be? And she says she can't find anything on the website. And I know that I've been asked numerous times, is the city hiring lifeguards?
That's on the jobs.
It
On the
is
jobs,
now.
yes,
Yep,
looking for
it
lifeguards.
is up there.
So as far as I know, this is what I'm basing on what I've heard from the guys that still work there. They're working on the pool now. They're expecting to open on the 21st, which is Saturday the 21st, which is also Spalding's graduation. I'm not sure about the price. I think it's the same as it was last year. In fact, I don't want to say anything, but I think it might be the same and it might be a little less. I'm not sure what I heard, but I don't think it's going to be more than it was last
Right,
year.
and I knew they were doing, they were working or at least talking about some changes to the season
Passes
and-
would be good. The same price for town residents as they are for city residents. Yeah.
Yep. Linda says when she was growing up, every summer they had recreation people that came to the Garfield playground,
Yeah.
and they did arts and crafts and played games and things like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Times have definitely changed,
Mm-hmm.
and those are the things that I mean. Like even those things could be done. Kids that go to the
Right.
career center and want to advance their career in early childhood education, or those sorts of things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Those are the kind of they would volunteer or help for those
Right.
those times.
And those
in
were
the
free. Those
recreation.
were programs that were free. And I remember at the end of the year, not only do you had the bicycle thing, but then they had before the bicycle parade or after the bicycle parade, they had this. It was kind of like a powwow thing, but they'd pick a theme like it was Indian summer. So everybody like made like little headbands with feathers in them, and they had. I can't remember if they met at like Lincoln. They met at one of the bigger playgrounds anyway. And from all the different playgrounds, everybody got
I think
together.
I remember that.
I know there's pictures of that up in one of the rooms in Alumni Hall. I've seen them up there. They're on poster board.
Right. And Glenn says, get off their devices and go outside. And it's so true. I mean, what kids these days miss out on so much. But I really truly believe it's because they worry about so many adult things and they're almost being pushed to worry about adult things.
Yeah.
It wasn't that long ago that people in the city were talking about having 15 and 16-year-olds vote, for God's sakes. And, there's just so much baggage for a kid these days. And really all they should be worried about is, being able to play until the street lights come on, or having things like that to do in the community that make them a part of the community and a part of their neighborhood, knowing who their neighbors are and actually participating, play hide and
Yeah.
seek with the 3, 4 houses in a row that are full of kids like we did, or
Yeah.
dodgeball or something.
We played hide and seek down in my neighborhood when I was a kid. It took 2 weeks to find everybody.
Right,
you know?
exactly. I mean, it would literally take because you played 3 lawns wide, 3 lines
I mean,
lawns deep.
we did something every day, all day.
Yeah.
You know, we did. I played Little League, I played flag football and stuff like that. But when we weren't doing something organized, like during the day, your parents are at work, whatever, we found things to do.
You built cabins in the woods
Yeah,
even
we
and
did
stuff.
that. We did that on the old railroad bed. We'd climb up the hill and we'd build cabins in the woods. We were playing like baseball all the time, street hockey at Ward 5 school. I mean,
Yeah.
we kept ourselves busy all summer. It was
That was back when, well, I don't know about you and your family situation, but that was definitely back when we didn't worry about daycare either. I was
No.
a total latchkey kid, and we stayed home. We knew what the rules were,
Yep.
and we also knew that we better follow those rules or else.
Right.
You know, we had chores that we had to do. We could, you know, we had to come home for lunch, and we had to call my mom at work and check in and those sorts of things. There was definitely stuff that we had to follow through on.
Yeah.
But
we had a babysitter.
and I guess I understand nowadays that you just can't do that stuff. But we survived. We were fine. I mean, I remember coming home from school. I bet you. I know it at least started in the 3rd grade. That I started doing that, coming home after school
Yeah.
in the 3rd grade, because I know when we stopped having a sitter, and after that we
I
came
remember
home.
we had a sitter because my mom worked. She worked at Sprague Electric, and my dad was working. He was a blacksmith for the granite sheds, and she said we need to have a babysitter for the summer, and it was Tracy's mom.
Tracy Lewis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her mom, Kathy. She's our cousin. And I remember one time, I must have done something bad. Kathy sent me to my room, which was upstairs. And yes, this is sunny.
Did you go out the window,
I
Jeff?
did. Because right outside my window, below us we had like a sun porch, an enclosed sun porch. So out my window, on the roof of the sun porch, off the edge, jump, go. So my mom came home from work and she said, well, you know, she was talking to Kathy and said, so I saw the boys all out playing out there. And Kathy said, well, all but Jeffrey. So my mother kind of looked at her funny and said, what? She said, well, no, I had to send him to his room because he was acting up. And my mom said, well, I'm pretty sure I saw him with the other boys down there. Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah. Linda says her mom bought some cinder blocks and a sheet of plywood, and her brothers made a jump for their bikes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All those
We
good
had,
things.
there was so much, you know, there was, like I said, there were families down there in the North End that had 13, 14, 12 kids, you know, and everybody knew everybody, and their parents all knew each other. So it didn't matter whose house you were at, and if you were down on Vine Street or Smith Street or on Howard Street, everybody's parents knew each other.
And it didn't matter whose mom was giving you a talking
Exactly.
to. You just knew that you minded
Yep.
all of them, and it didn't matter whose mom was giving you a talking to.
That's
and
right.
then you just hoped that mom didn't talk to your mom, because then you were going to get more than one talking to.
You know, before we were old enough to go up to the big city pool, we used to go down to the one where the
North
police
Barre.
fire station, the North Barre pool, and we'd walk.
Yeah.
You know, we'd walk down, and we'd have enough money to pay. I think it was like a quarter to go to the pool or something, and we'd walk down, and we had enough to get a treat at one of the little neighborhood stores on the way back.
Yep.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
penny candies.
Yeah.
All the good days. Well, those were the days. That's all
I
we
know,
can say.
us old dogs.
And it doesn't, I mean, it makes my heart ache a little bit not a little bit, a lot of bit for our kids these days,
Yeah.
because I really think that they have no idea what they're missing. And if, I really think that they would be much happier in life
Yeah.
if things we could go back to that kind of stuff a lot more. And
Yeah.
so we'll see if we can get somebody new in the recreation,
Yeah.
what comes up about, and then, if need be, do we need to fundraise to get things like this going? And I mean, we fundraise for all kinds of things around here. Why not something as important as giving our kids a really good summer
And usually
a
when
really good all life, I guess. Not
usually
just
when your
summer.
fundraisers involve something for kids, people seem
People
to
come
tend,
out.
yeah,
Yeah, they do.
they tend to give more.
I know that I certainly would do anything and everything I could to promote such a thing, and I think a lot of people would.
Yeah.
It's definitely something that we could stand behind. Before we go, I got to say that the Den is open every day except for Fridays at noon. And why? Because they're now serving lunch. They have
Wow.
an amazing menu. You got to go and check it out. And so every day except for Friday, they open at noon. And
Wow.
so they'll be serving lunch, dinner, and of course, every single night there's something going on there. Mondays is cribbage night. Tonight's karaoke night, as well as line dancing for beginners. So you can do beginners line dancing from 6 to 7.
You always look at me when
And
you
then
say that.
enjoy some karaoke with Smee DJ. From 7 to 9, and that's always a really good time. They have some really good singers,
Yeah.
and then they have some that not so much, but it's a lot of fun either way. So every day but Friday, and the reason no Fridays is because Fridays at the Den is prime rib night.
Oh, yeah.
Every Friday night is prime rib night, and so they open at 5
Yeah.
on Fridays for that, and it's really good. You definitely should go and check it out, and don't forget to get your butt to Williamstown to Legendary Family Maple.
You don't have to
Maple
go
and
all the way to
cream
Williamstown
and ice
now,
cream.
though.
Well, I know, but they're a sponsor, and so we need to make sure, and they have all the flavors.
Yeah.
And they have the everything there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, tomorrow is going to be perfect
Yeah.
for ice cream. And then you're right, if you don't have the time and you can't get all the way out to Williamstown, or you don't care if you have that huge long list of
Right.
flavors, get on over to Campo Divino and enjoy some gelato. I heard it was amazing.
I haven't tried it yet.
Some legendary ice cream. And she has a couple of other things, I think. I can't remember. I would have to look at the
Yeah.
menu again. But go and check it out. Either way.
Cannolis.
Cannolis. Yeah, and she always has a special. She opens on Thursday. I have to look at the hours for the ice cream window.
She's a fireball, isn't she?
Yes, she is. I love Taylor to death. She's a sweetheart, and her mother, I just adore. Super good people.
Yeah.
But I gotta look at that menu because and her hours for the ice cream window, because I did not pay attention, to be perfectly honest, and I don't know what she's doing there, because I know that the restaurant or the takeout is only Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
So I don't
Yeah.
know if the ice cream window's hours are a little bit different than that or not. So we'll have to keep track of that and know when the ice cream window at Campo Divino is open. Yeah. Oh, the ice cream window is open Thursday, Friday, Saturday from 11 to 8.
Ooh,
So
opens
11
at 11.
a.m. to 8 p.m. on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. But in the meantime, if you are dying for really good ice cream, get to Williamstown.
Yeah.
To Legendary. I mean, oh my God. Try the maple coffee bourbon. I'm telling you now. Oh, so good. You got to check it out. So tune in tomorrow night for the girls, 4 quarters with Lori Shepard, 5:30. Thursday, Jeff and I will be back here for Table Talk. Friday, we have a special show at noon, Vermont Fatherhood. We'll be doing that show, as well as the Vermont podcast that takes place at 2:30. So a full week this
Wow.
week, full week next week. We got a lot going on. We will definitely go live tomorrow night from the park. Again, we invite you all to come down, enjoy those concerts, and don't forget to join us on our special night at the park when we sponsor Seth and Sophie. We'd love to see you.
Yeah.
And we'd love to see you every Wednesday.
Enjoy the music, but also enjoy the food trucks.
That's right. And the farmer's market.
And the farmer's market. That's
Yeah,
first, right?
It's almost strawberry
Farmer's market
season.
starts first.
Yep, 3:30.
Yep.
3:30 to 6:30 is the farmer's market. The food trucks 4 to 7, and Donna Thunder 5:30 to 7. So come on out. Look forward to seeing y'all.